Andrew's work.
Absolutely, thank you. At some point, somebody sent me a link to one of your videos. And I looked at it and thought, well, this feels very different. As an academic, I'm used to watching talking head talks, essentially. We have the speaker talking at the audience. I said what I'm really interested in is not so much whether the videos engage, because it seems to me that it's fairly obvious that they do, but also the kind of depth of learning, not just the number of eyes watching the animation, but what is going in from the animation, because essentially communication is about taking information in the speaker's head and transferring it to other people's heads. And we kicked around some ideas, and I said, let's do an online experiment, and we will test that notion. We created 2 videos, especially for the experiment. The first one features my good self talking about a psychological principle called the as-if principle. So basically, I just sort of gave the sort of talking head interview that I would do if I was being interviewed about it. Then I just took the audio, the soundtrack of that, and sent that to Andrew. And he produced one of the animations which you're now very familiar with in that style. And we asked people, how entertaining did you find them? How informative? Would you share them with other people? And so on. But what I was really interested in was that transfer of knowledge. So after watching the video, they went to another part of the website, and there they had some surprise memory questions. So it's a fairly hard and fast test of this idea of just how much information do you take from these 2 different formats. So we had around about 1,000 people take part in our experiment. And I was quite astounded at the results. Yes, people found the animation far more entertaining, no surprise there, and they're much, much more likely to share it with others. But looking at the answers to the memory questions, that's where you see the really big effects. 70% of people remembered that very, very vital piece of information when they're just listening to me. You take the same soundtrack, you animate it, and that goes up to 92%. So you're seeing a huge increase there, simply because people are, I think, more engaged in the process. We know that in order to remember something, you need to attend to it in the first place. And attention is really difficult psychologically. It's a very slippery concept. And so if you haven't put people's attention, you're not going to get the information in. And I think what the animations do is hold that attention. They hold it in an incredibly engaging way, and that means the information simply goes in. So across our various memory questions, we saw a 15% rise in recall. This is immediately afterwards, but a 15% rise in recall. And that is far from trivial. Anyone involved in educational research would know that is absolutely massive. Normally you have to work incredibly hard to get maybe 5, maybe 10% increase in any kind of behavioural measure like that. And simply by animation, you're seeing a 15% there. It shows there is something huge going on here, and I could think of a million other experiments we could do to try and get at exactly what that thing is. I think it is vital that we try and understand how this all works, because we're seeing a huge shift to online learning, online education now. That's where the action is. So we need to understand how people engage with that. You're seeing a very big increase, not only in enjoyment, entertainment, and all of that, but in knowledge transfer, and that's what's absolutely key. So that's what the experiment was about, and that's why I'm very excited about the results.